Greetings YouTube. You join me in the village of Kingston Deverill in West Wiltshire. I'm going to have a short walk up some of the West Wiltshire downs, starting from Kingston Deverill up Cold Kitchen Hill, then to Brimsdown Hill, down through to the edge of Horningsham village, and then back along towards Kingston Deverill, and then back up Cold Kitchen Hill from the other side, back over the top, back down to Kingston Deverill. It's going to be about, I think it's just about 9.5 miles, something like that. We've had very dull weather the last few days, but right now the sun's broken out and we've got a bit of blue sky, so hopefully we might get some views. It's a little bit hazy at the moment, but the sky seems to be clearing, so we might get some decent views up the top of the downs. That's the first climb of the day, up that little hill there. Oh, starting to get onto the tops now, although there isn't a huge amount to see. As I'm walking along here, as I've sort of mentioned in a few of my previous videos, I've slowly started to get a lot fitter, using an exercise bike and obviously these walks, etc. And it's almost I think 4 years now since I gave up smoking, or stopped smoking, and it's only in the last 6 months that I've really started to notice the benefit of no longer smoking. My lungs are now as clear as I think they're ever going to be. I can get I don't know how you measure it, litres full of air into them now. So if any of you out there still do smoke and are thinking of giving up, then I can heartily say that it's well worth doing. I used the Alan Carr easy way method. That's not Alan Carr, the chatty man comedian. That's a different Alan Carr, who invented what he called his easy way to give up smoking. I used the book, but other people go to group sessions or one-to-one counselling, etc. Basically, the method is that you debunk all the reasons you give to yourself as to why you need to smoke. So, such as, it relieves my stress, or it keeps me, helps me concentrate. Hang on a second. Oh yeah, sorry, back again. Helps you concentrate, or you need one after a meal, or you can't socialise without a fag, or any of that sort of stuff. And he gives you examples. Loads of different examples, and the whole idea is that whilst you're having this therapy or reading the book as I did, you continue to smoke. But the idea is that by the time you finish it, you realise that actually there is no point smoking anymore, because all the things you thought you needed to smoke for don't exist. And then all you've got to do is break the nicotine habit, which can take between sort of 10 days and 3 or 4 weeks, something like that. And all I used to say to myself when I had any slight nicotine craving was that, well, hang on a second, what you're now yearning for didn't exist, because all the time you do smoke, or certainly latterly towards the end of your smoking career, for want of a better word, all you want to do is try and give up. So when you're yearning to smoke again, you think, well, hang on a minute, why was I always trying to give up? That thing I'm yearning for never existed. And that was, as soon as I said that to myself, almost instantaneously, the urge disappeared. I didn't want to smoke. And it worked. And I say I'm 4 years clear now and no intention of ever smoking again. So wholeheartedly recommend using that a method if any of you are thinking of giving up smoking. You don't see these very often. We've got a good old-fashioned beacon. The sort of things, well, nowadays they sort of when there's a jubilee or something like that, they put a fire in the basket, and you can see them from, well, other hills around will have a similar sort of thing, and they like beacons. Try and do a line of beacons stretching from one side of the country to the other. But yeah, I haven't seen one of these for a long time. There, the distance is Brimsdown Hill. Coming close to the summit of Brimsdown Hill now, but I've got a feeling the actual summit is fenced off, so we might not get to go to the actual summit, but we'll find out. It's all a bit disappointing. This is pretty much the summit, but you can't go into those fields, so you can't see the view on the other side, albeit it is actually quite hazy today anyway. But here's a view down the valley in the general direction, I think, of Kingston Deverill, I think. Into the woods. See if we can find a log to sit down and have a cup of coffee on. Now beginning the descent to in the general direction of Horningsham. We're not actually going in as far as Horningsham, but yeah, quite a steep descent now. There's a strange big lump of stone in the middle of the field there. It's got to have been put there by man, but yeah, all a bit odd. I don't know if I can find out anything about it, but it's obviously been dressed stone because it's quite square. But yeah, why on earth you'd put it there and what it's for? See if I can find out. If I do, I'll put it up on the screen. Just coming down into sort of what you class as the valley bottom now. Here's another funny little feature. A stone building of some description. I don't know if it was a sheep shelter or a shepherd's hut or what, but yeah, quite a quaint little thing. All quite strange. Must have been a shepherd's hut, I would imagine. The sun's come out again. There's Horningsham down that way. Well, you can't actually see it, but we're not going that way, we're going this way. It's not exactly much of a hill around here, but here's another trig point. Just realised I've been walking in the wrong direction for the last 5 minutes. So when I realised my mistake, I stopped and had a sandwich. So I'm just going to head it back the way I've been coming through these woods. Don't know if this is some old ancient road, but as you may or may be able to see, an awful lot of stone has been put in. I don't know if it's by the local farmer or whether they say this is some old ancient byway or whatever. We are heading towards a medieval village, the site of a medieval village of Kingston Deverill. So I suppose it's always possible this might have been something to do with that. It's opened out into quite a wide carriageway now with hedges on either side. Okay, we're starting the slow ascent now, initially up Brimsdown, and then that continues on back up Cold Kitchen Hill from the opposite end to the way I walked this morning. Having one of those moments. The map says one thing, the signpost says something completely different. So where the map says there's a path, there's nothing, but there's two signposts saying Bridleway. But I've come up here before and it sort of goes in totally the opposite directions of the way the map wants you to go. So we might have to make something up in a minute. But I can hear a farmer working in his field, so no doubt I'll probably get shouted at. Oh well, must be coming the right way, but not the way that's shown on the map. Okay, it's a bit windy, so I don't know whether you'll be able to hear me too well, but we're going up Cold Kitchen Hill up there. That's actually where we went earlier on, and that's the beacon I told you about, right at the top of the hill, where they have fire, light them for things like the Queen's Jubilee and whatever. And then we walked all that ridge line, and then dropped down the hill, and walked along sort of that bit down there, up into the distance, and then back round the back of this hill here, Brimsdown Hill. Thankfully the sun's come out now, but still quite a chilly wind, but so I'll get going again because I've taken my coat off because I build up a bit of heat going up the hill, but as soon as you stop it quickly cool down. But yeah, it's nice to see the sun. Pretty much back next to that fire beacon thingy. Yeah, now the sun's out, cleared up a little bit, and you get slightly better views. There's Little Knoll and Long Knoll over there. I walked up them probably a couple of months back now. Yeah, it's very pleasant, a little bit windy, but very pleasant up here. Just looking for a spot now to hop this fence and join the path that takes me back down into Kingston Deverill and the finish of the walk. Okay, comes to the end of the walk. I have to say, I'm so glad I came out. Been a very pleasant walk. Sun came out, which wasn't forecast. Had a few good hills to climb and a few views, not as many views as perhaps I hoped, but still it's a little bit hazy today, but nevertheless well worth coming out. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this, and see you again next time.